Hey, what do you say? It's me, your favorite little drug addict, Tim. Oh, that's not supposed to go again. Let me take care of that. Hi, everybody. It is January 29th, 2025. I am Tim Snyder, and I'm the host of Talkin Trash. We're pushing 80 episodes, which is crazy to me. I couldn't imagine this was going to do anything. And, maybe one day it just ends and there's 150 episodes of recovery online. That's fine with me. But for now, I'm still kicking. Things are still happening. Recovery is needed out there. So we're grateful to the people that allow us to be a part of their recovery. This is episode 79. It's the angry cat. So this is heaven. I hate it. 79. We're live tonight as usual. We have a special guest, Tina C. She will be on in about 10 minutes or so. We're just hanging out. We're doing our thing. We got 5 people here. We're all equal. We all have a unique perspective on recovery, and different stories and different. Twitter's working, or X, or whatever. Finally got that to go live. So we got. We're blessed. I'm blessed to be alive. I'll speak for myself. I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to have air in my lungs. That's the same thing as being alive. And I'm blessed to have friends like this. Because there are people, believe it or not, that wrote me off. They're done with me. People just are done. They're done with my antics. And I don't blame them. Half of them. The other half are assholes. But I have these 4 people, plus 5, Tina, plus 6, everybody. I got all these people in my life helping me stay sober. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for what the podcast does, both for me and for everybody that listens and watches. So let's do our preamble and get this party started. This is our humble broadcast where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We don't do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the message that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show as living examples that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. Not only is that the 9-step promise, it's our creed we abide by here on Talkin Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away. Please join us for a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So let's meet the team of Talkin Trash. We have a full cast here as the show is growing. Alright, Tim Snyder, that's me. I'm one of the hosts of the show. I'm the producer of the show. I'm 18 months clean and sober. You got Mike Oxley. He's our resident medical professional. He was a nurse in recovery for over a decade. Kaisa, that's how it's pronounced. Kaisa is all over the internet, Facebook, message boards, spreading hope, and we're so glad that we found her. And then it's my boy, Willie Duggs. Will is an all-around stand-up guy. He has 18 months sober, and he's proud of the life he's built and the relationships he's mended. Jimmy Leibel, this guy is a beauty. He was one of our top fans, and it was a no-brainer to get him in the mix. And there's your new format and your new Talkin Trash team. Very excited for this year. The panel has so much to offer to spread the word that recovery is possible. I didn't have a shirt on, so now that we've all been formally introduced, let's get into the show. Blowing it again. Hi, everybody. A little flustered. Kaisa is late. She'll be joining in a little bit. In the intro, I said formerly introduced instead of formally. So all right, let's get to our intros. We got Mike Oxley. What? He's our resident nurse. He's the host of the show, along with me. He is 55. He's from South Jersey. He's a nurse. Worked in substance abuse for over a decade. He's a father to 4 children. He's a grandpa. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at Mike as a grandpa. Oh my God, there's Lucas Anthony. Born 1/8/25, 8 pounds 4 ounces. What else? Mike is, yeah. So that's it for me. Or Mike. Hi, Mike. How are we doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How's everybody doing today?
Everybody's good, I think.
Everybody's good?
Hey, you backstage. Are you good?
I can't hear anybody backstage.
Yeah, because they're not talking. Will, nodding your head is not great for a podcast. I guess I can't hear them. Oh, they're not on stage. All right, never mind. So, Mike, what's going on in your world this week?
My daughter is in from Germany, and her husband. So it's been, they got in early Monday morning. It's been great. It's been great having her here. We finally got to exchange our Christmas presents, and she's heading back tomorrow to Germany to return sometime early summer for some business thing. But yeah, tomorrow morning will be the last time I see her until, the spring, May or June probably.
Hey, that shirt looks familiar.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, I sent Mike
one of ours. It's one of ours.
I'm a fatso, so like I had all these shirts that I couldn't fit into, so I sent.
Yeah, this must be a medium one of yours.
It's a nice shirt. It's polyester.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
Good shirt.
You ever break your arm? What's that scar by your Apple Watch?
This happened by
No, I don't know. That's why I asked.
You shouldn't bring a knife to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so. Oh, hey, Instagram not working. Oh yeah, it is. I don't know. Anyway, well, that's cool, Mike. Glad to have you as always. So next on the docket for meeting the team is me. I'm the host of the show. I shouldn't be alive. I'm grateful to be here some days. I'm 42. I'm a New Jersey resident, or a New Jersey native. Older brother and sister played hockey for a long time. Wasn't very good, but I enjoyed it. Father to 2 beautiful girls. I'm a recovering addict, almost 2 years clean. My drug of choice was drugs. I'm the producer of Talkin Trash. Broke my neck in a car accident right there. Ended up in a coma, kinda. And yeah, so I'm alive, which is crazy. And now we got Will Douglas. Holy shit. He's a good time. Hi, Will.
Hey, what's up? How's everybody?
You're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wonderful.
That's good. Let's see. Let's introduce Will real quick here. Will's 42. He lives in Ranger, Georgia. He grew up in Marietta, Georgia. His social security number is 138869830. His drug of choice is meth and GHB. He's a year and a half clean. He completed drug court. He's family oriented, good guy. Does not drive a tourist, for the record. And it's cold up in Canada. And we have a friend. His name is Jim Alibo. Jim, welcome to the program, friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. You're doing well as well. Good.
Yeah, I guess
good to
I'm
see.
all right.
Good to see the team. Oh, there's the Johnson again.
We're here. Here's half.
Mazons. And yeah, that is a Minnesota Twins shirt from 1982.
I had to ask about the Twins. Apparently, that's your baseball team if you live in Regina, Canada. Saskatchewan. Yeah.
The closest one is the Blue Jays. That's it.
Right. So, like, the only thing I can compare that to that I experienced is when I was in Bangor, Maine, they were all Bruins fans and whatever, Boston fans. So I guess, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you got to throw a dart and hit the closest team.
There you go.
So, yeah, thank you for laughing, Will. Jim, I guess, you were a fitness nut for a little while you were drinking? Explain that real quick.
20 years. I was, that's me actually leading. It was a thing for MS, and I was the leader for 250 riders for an hour and a half. But I had vodka in my water bottle the entire time.
Oh, my God. Oh my God! I can't imagine it. Is that drunk driving? You get a DUI for that?
Okay, but a vodka's made from potatoes. It's carbs, so alcoholic thinking, man. Come on.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't going anywhere. I was strapped into the bike, right? Stationary.
I didn't pull you over. Yeah, you're not pulled over on the side of the road, Jim. You're
Not
okay
yet.
here. You're
Not
safe
yet.
here.
There
Jim
you go.
Leibel is from Saskatchewan. He's a father of 2 daughters as well. He is
Yeah.
3 years of recovery, 35 years printing stuff.
Yep.
He's involved in everything, just like our friend Kaisa, in service work and in groups on Facebook. Just message that recovery is possible. He does H&I meetings at the correctional center. He loves his dogs, and he's a salon consultant for a hair and beauty salon. And look who just came in just in time at the last minute. Kaisa, how you doing, honey? Rough day, huh?
Well, traffic, and I got a shiner.
Well, I mean, more
Again, I'm sorry
There we
about
go.
that.
Yeah.
Everybody, Kaisa's significant other is a Washington Redskins fan, and of
Oh,
course,
he
if
hit
the
her?
game,
Oh, that's not good.
She's like, what?
the
That's
domestic
not good.
violence that
No,
goes
no,
on
no,
afterwards.
no.
Not happening.
Mm-mm.
You're barking up the wrong tree there, Oxley.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kaisa, she's from Texas. She's 5 years sober. She does all kinds of stuff. Sober Hope, Facebook groups, and we're lucky to have her. Hold on. While we're just hanging out here, I'm gonna get the Instagram feed fixed. Kaisa, what's going on in your world?
Well, I had some major mouth surgery, so that's why I look like Cindy Lou Who.
See
And
that?
I got a black eye.
Yikes.
Woo! Yeah, so woo. But today I went back to work after missing 2 days and talk about ketchup. Oh my God.
God.
It was crazy. Crazy.
Let's talk about mustard real quick.
Yeah.
I love mustard.
You talk about ketchup.
Mustard.
You talk about ketchup. We're gonna talk about mustard. So that's it. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get Instagram working. I don't usually do this live. Oh, come on, really? All right, well, there goes 500 listeners. You have to catch up. On the feed. So here we are. Oh, look, me and Will are the co-hosts. Mike is not. I don't know why that happened. I forgot to mention that it's very difficult to do the cameras if the people aren't in studio. Not your fault. That's SteamYard is a shit pile. So so that's it. Recovery. Let's real quick. Let's do a reading. Kaisa's banged up. Mike, why don't you?
Yeah,
Jim, why don't you read this? Daily
Okay.
reflections.
Daily refraction. Okay, the daily refraction for January 29th. The joy of sharing. Alcoholics Anonymous, page. What? I can't even read that. Page 89.
89.
Thank you, sir. Bring the type bigger. Life will take on new meaning. To watch people recover, to see them help others, to watch loneliness vanish, to see a fellowship grow about you, to have a host of friends. This is an experience you must not miss. We know. Yeah, I know. We know you will not want to miss it. If frequent contact with newcomers and with others is the bright spot of our lives. Alcohol. Yeah. To know that each newcomer with whom I share has the opportunity to experience the relief that I have found in this fellowship fills me with joy and gratitude. I feel that all the things described in AA will come to pass for them as they have for me if they seize the opportunity and embrace the program fully.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Oh, this is welcome to the miracle.
Oh,
Okay,
jeez.
there we are.
Catchphrase.
I love that. I just absolutely love that with all my heart. Okay, so we got
Really?
Nikki. Yeah, I do.
Nikki.
And Nikki coming on Sunday. What a good time Nick is. This guy's a monster. If you ever seen him in person, he's like 6'4", 250. And
Big
he's
boy.
ticklish. So go figure.
Uh-oh.
So that's that. So anyway, just touching on that. What else we got here? Stuff going on with the show. Tina coming on. That's all wrong. Let's see. Maybe I'll use the. It's got the wrong show number on it. So yeah, Nikki D coming in the house. We got Ronnie Jemison.
Yay, Ronnie!
I'm not sure if I was supposed to use his full name or not, but I have. So there's that. What else we got here? Look at that. Look at me and Tina, all AI'd up. What a good time. All right, so anyway, real quick. DUI-related deaths in 2024, there was 13,000 of them. Don't drink and drive. Don't do what I did 1,000 times. Dry January, it's almost over. I hope everybody, hung on to dear life here. Yes, you can still smoke crack, so just so everybody knows. There's that. The Super Bowl, don't smoke crack. That is 2 weeks away. Mike is literally frothing at the mouth. I remember the last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I went down to the parade, and there were people climbing on the light poles. So what they did in Philly is they got Crisco, and they put Crisco up. They painted the poles with Crisco.
It didn't stop anybody.
No, they still went up. Or no, most of them fell after that. But I was right there for that. Man, what a nightmare that was. Oh, my God. That night, that was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I find a bag of cocaine on the ground. Literally, like, I don't know, 6-7 grams. More cocaine than I've ever seen at one sitting. You know what I mean? So, so that enhanced the spirit of football. And that. So it's my ex-wife's birthday. She's a real treat. Yep, she's a good mom.
Somebody died.
Oh, jeez, that was nice.
Whoa.
Yep.
Somebody died on Sunday from climbing a pole. They fell off. A Temple University student.
Why?
18 years old. He fell as he was climbing and trying to climb down. There's actually footage of it on TikTok and stuff. He fell about midway up by the street sign portion of the pole, and he landed head first. He's from Canada, actually. Toronto. He's a freshman, and he had climbed up the pole and was on his way down, actually, and slipped, hit his forehead, and broke his head open, and he died. He died today, actually. So it was very. He was part of. He was only a freshman. He was part of their gymnastics team at Temple. So around here, we kind of took a little moment of silence today because, he's a new fan and that happens, I mean, that's horrible. He's only 18-year-old kid, athletic, obviously. He was in a the program that turns into doctorates of physiology, which is like almost public health. In Canada would be like a public health and promotional coach, kind of healthy nutritionist. All that would mingle into and that's what he was going to Temple for. Very tough school to get into, that public health and exercise physiology program. But he's dead. And how would you like to have your son die for the Eagles? Winning the Super Bowl when he falls on his head.
Huh. Well, that was cheerful.
That's horrible.
No.
What a great way to start the show. So, Jimmy, you want to do a little... We and Jim came up with a new segment. It is called a Jim's Gems.
Okay.
What a good time this is going to be. Jimmy's Gems.
Well,
Look at this
actually,
guy.
well, when you sent me this, I'm like, oh man, so I ran and got on the internet. So I got a little bit of history of Alcoholics Anonymous for anybody who's really interested. Okay, well, actually, there was a group called the Washingtonians, not the Commanders, way back in the early like right before independence, and these guys had like 5,000 members, and then it just died because they didn't really have any kind of 12 steps. Wow. Okay, so and then anybody heard of John Wesley, the Methodist? Okay, so he established the Methodist. They were like a not penal colony, what they call it, temperance, right?
Right.
So they got into that back in that was about 2 centuries ago, and then there was the Oxford group. If anybody's ever heard of that, that was kind of like the precursor to AA. And that was a fellow called Roland Hazard went to Europe. He went to Zurich with Switzerland because he was a business executive, and he was being treated for alcoholism with the psychiatrist Carl Jung. And it was Jung who came up with the concept of having a spiritual connection. So he came back, and that's how kind of he got involved with the Oxford group. And then Bill got involved with that. Bill was he ruined a promising career on Wall Street by his drinking. He also failed to graduate from law school. I love this part, because he was too drunk to pick up his diploma. Good on him. Yep, exactly. He was hospitalized 4 times between 1933 and 1934 under the care of Dr. William Silkworth. If anybody knows any AA history, there.
Yep.
Who's that?
There you go. Silkworth.
I know.
Okay, there you go. And then a buddy of his, Ebby Thatcher, visited Wilson. There you go. And the first thing he said to him, he said, "I got religion." And Bill Wilson said, "Oh, shit.
It's a miracle."
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So then he said, "Well, why don't you choose your own conception of God?" So it was the development of that whole 12 steps, you know.
Wow.
And then there was the whole Dr. Bob, and Dr. Bob, his last drink was 1934, right before he operated on a guy. He was in the parking lot drinking beer. Good on him.
You can't operate with shakes, you know.
Well, exactly. And then that just developed that. Okay, here's a little history for you. Does anybody know? Well, of course, nobody's going to answer. Why it's called the Big Book? The thickness of the paper.
Oh, yay!
Oh, wow.
There you go.
What
go.
fun!
What fun!
Let me ask you, wasn't Bill W? I don't know if it's Bill W. or Dr. Bob or whoever. Somebody at my meeting last night. We were doing the 12 and 12, and he was like, "I don't like," or the 12 promises or something. And he's like, "I don't like it," because he was tripping on acid all through the 50s or whatever. So like, you can clarify that real quick for me, because I didn't. This guy's just miserable, and he's always doom and gloom. But he caught my attention this time. I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Well, and actually, little known fact, actually, it was Bill Wilson experimented with LSD.
Yes.
For his treatment. So yeah, a little stuff there. And the original 12 steps was actually originally 6.
I knew that.
Yeah. Well, what the hell am I doing here? Jesus Christ! And just how and then, now they have the new plain language edition of the Big Book. I've read it. They've made a few changes. It's a little too fluffy for me, but whatever. Okay, here we go. I'm not done yet, man. 10 things you might not know about Alcoholics Anonymous for you newcomers. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. Well, those in the program know that, but most people are like, well, what the hell? And there's actually open and closed meetings. You can a closed one is people who are in the program, and open you can actually bring people like family members that are maybe in say Al-Anon or something.
I did that.
Okay, yeah. You don't actually have to speak, because a lot of times on TV shows and movies they say, "Hi, I'm Jim and I'm an alcoholic." You don't even have to do that. You don't have to say anything. Just be there. No dues or fees. We're not connected to any organizations. Blah blah blah. This is a cool one. AA actually recognizes mental health issues. That's part of what the hell's the buzzing for, man?
Somebody's gonna turn their buzz phone.
Okay, whatever. Just dealing with people who are participating in receiving mental treatment, which is cool. They're not against medication, but if it's prescribed, not the stuff that you get in the baggies behind the 7-Eleven.
Oh.
And sometimes we have not a secret handshake, but let's say if you're in a different city, and I've seen this, it'll say "Friends of Bill" rather than AA meeting. And I've met people, and I'll be talking, and they'll look at me and say, "Hey, are you a friend of Bill?" And it's like, "Oh, yeah, actually, it's kind of cool." So we don't have a handshake. We don't have a handshake or anything like that, but and of course, then we're gonna have this for the rest of the show. Can you focus on
Brooke
that?
Shields. Oh my God.
I'm watching you, Michael. There you go. That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
That was great. Great new segment we got here, because Jimmy's he's an interesting fella.
Here's a little known fact. You guys know that I said this in a previous show, how the Canadians, we burnt down the White House in the War of 1812.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
But we didn't actually do it. We subcontracted to a bunch of Indians. So
Oh my God. Okay. That's news
That's
to
all I
me.
got.
So,
That's all I
all
got.
right.
All I
Well,
got.
that's good. Oh,
Okay,
Mike.
bring on somebody
All
with brains.
right.
Let's talk
All
to
right. Here,
Tina.
here's what was happening. Mike's mom was calling.
Uh
He
oh.
was the one. He was the one buzzing, and now he's gone. So,
Oh.
yeah, Tina's gonna fit right in. Mike is beat. All right. So let's get Tina C in the mix. Tina C in the place to be. She's a good friend of ours. Let it finish. There we are. Hi, Tina. Welcome to the program.
Hello, nice to see you.
You
Nice
too.
to see everybody.
Good to see
Hi,
you.
Tina.
The point of that intro is Tina's a rocker. She's a metalhead. So I thought I'd do
Wow.
a little something. No, that's not up your alley. I think that's Blur, like the '90s, something like that. I couldn't find a good Guns N' Roses thing I could settle
I do
on, or Van
I do
Halen.
like all music, but you know,
Well, it was heavy metal. So
I do
how's
like
every? All right. So who we missing? Oxley.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, why wouldn't we? I can hear you, Mike, but
Come
I
on,
can't.
bring me on. I'm
I
here.
can't. I can't.
He's
All right,
there.
watch
Is he wearing?
this.
Is he wearing pants?
Yeah, he took those off. Watch this.
He's
Look
the
at
only one.
look. It's a Tim Mike
Whoa.
Libel sandwich.
Wow.
Whoa. Oh, get a little tight in here.
Siamese.
Put some mustard and lettuce on that, and I'd eat the whole
There we
thing.
go. That
So,
was good.
all right, I got to mess around with cameras. Michael, you are the quarterback for this interview. She is your friend. Take it away. Get it going.
Tina, one of my oldest and dearest patients, and I don't mean physical age. I mean by length of my service in the business. Um, you know, a little bit about you that if people don't know, and even my co-host may not know, is that you're over 8 years sober,
hmm
and unlike this show, which is, I guess, pro AA, you didn't use AA, and you didn't use any steps, and you didn't
That
use
is
anything.
that
Just
is interesting.
sure willpower, correct? After treatment?
I did go to AA. I did try to find like a home group, but it was not for me.
Okay.
I went.
Yeah.
I did go mandatory when I was like,
Oh, sure.
17 or whatever, but that was besides the point. And and then I did go to rehab and IOP. They kind of pushed it to go to so many meetings.
Yep.
And I would go, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're just having fun, found your home group." And I go to another one, and it just
Didn't work out, huh?
no.
Listen, to each their own. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I get it, I do, and I just didn't find that like I liked it better like in rehab, like when it was part of the program there rather than like
Right.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know. I don't feel like I don't know. It wasn't for me, but I'm not against it for anyone else. To me,
Do
it
you
was
think at that time an all women's group would have worked for you? Because I know
no,
what I hear is one
no.
of the turnoffs of women to go to a group is that the men are almost, I'm usually,
predatory.
yes, I
Mhm.
didn't want to say that word because that sounds
No.
worse than it is. It's
Well, I
almost
was
a
one of them.
predatory thing for step 13 there. And was that part that kind of threw you off? Was it the guys just like, hey, baby?
Yeah, it just felt creepy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Good
that's
word.
about it. Yeah.
I mean, it
And I'm
really
not
depends
like
on
very
what group you
clicky,
go to.
like I'm kind of like not a lone wolf, but I didn't, and I don't want to go to just a women's group either because a bunch of women, that
Oh,
could
yeah.
get a little much too. So I like
Yep.
Right.
the mix of
Mhm.
people, but yeah, I just didn't ever feel comfortable. I
Yeah,
thought it was
well,
nice, everybody's friendly, welcoming, but I just never felt like, oh, I want to go back, like
yeah.
so.
Interesting.
And you never drank again. And what our audience may not know, and America may not know, is
America.
We
all
are.
of America is watching.
America.
This is
Um,
worldwide, Mike. But go ahead.
right.
The inter-
Tina came home from rehab, an overdue rehab, to a significant other that continued to drink. Didn't do all the usual things you hear about, like clear the house out, get rid of the booze, get rid of what would be possibly become a trigger. Didn't do any of that for her. And she still did it with right in her face,
Still
8 years.
is.
Yep,
Still
still
is.
is doing it.
Still is.
But it's a disease, and Tina kept her path. But as hard as that was, my question to Tina really is: now that you're 8 years sober, which is a long time, but yeah,
Mhm.
and you have friends that have become sober, and I'll open this up to the rest of the panel too. And you have friends that since you got sober became sober themselves. Maybe you were involved, maybe you weren't involved. Maybe
Mhm.
they were a sponsee, maybe they weren't. Maybe it's just a friend of yours that liked how you were living now and wanted to be like you. It doesn't matter. You have a lot of sobriety under you. When one of your close friends, who is also sober, relapses, how hard is it to put blinders on per se
Hmm.
and really not
Sorry.
let it throw you off track?
Where is mine?
How I was just
Sorry.
there.
Oh, go ahead. No, I don't know. Whatever.
Is it hard there?
There.
Is it hard to keep your struggles going when you have somebody so close to you that relapses? I mean, I guess that's what I want to ask you.
Yeah, it's hard. But it's almost like I don't even have to say anything. They do it themselves. They like disappear. Nobody knows
Yeah.
how to act around me. So their actions speak what they're doing. They don't have to tell me. Like I know.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you relapsed. And it's kind of
Oh, I get it. Just by their absence, you'll
yeah.
know.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The change of pattern, like, go from talking every day to like, oh gee, I haven't it's been a week now, like what's going on. So
Yeah.
so
Something's
people
up.
don't know how to like react around me. And it's like
Yeah.
I changed, but I haven't, you know what I mean? Like I don't judge people. But people just don't know what to do. It's
Yeah.
like I'm the same person, but um
Right, they treat you like a leper
yes,
almost.
they do.
Like
And it's
like you're
hard.
contagious. They're not ready to get sober,
No,
right? And it may be
no.
contagious. Your sobriety could be
I know.
contagious. Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
This, this is like funny, but and like totally out of the box here. But my cousin said to me the other day, her daughter, all the kids have a nickname. They call me Tita, whatever. But she didn't know me drinking. She was too young, and
oh, right.
she's like, she's like, Tita doesn't drink. She goes, I take her as a drinker. So, 17-year-old kid, they take me as a drinker, right?
Yep.
Which I was, right? But
Right, but she didn't even know
imagine
you
saying
then.
that to them.
Yeah.
Like I look
That's
like. What does that look like? But I
yeah.
thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
17-year-old saying, "I know, I take her as a drinker." And she's
Oh
like,
my
"No, well,
God.
she was. It's like
Yeah.
it's a good thing she doesn't drink now because you probably didn't want to know her then because
Yeah. If you take her as a drinker, yeah,
oh
no doubt.
my,
Could you
especially
imagine?
my
And
cousins, we're all very close, so
and you
like
also quit smoking during this time, didn't you?
yeah, it's been like I think 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
It
Mm-hmm.
was a year for me on the first.
yeah, I think that's
Good
harder
for you.
actually.
It was a
Than
disaster.
Yeah.
alcohol
Well, I mean,
in a
I
way.
still struggle with it every day.
Yeah,
But no, I mean when people close to you with having it under your belt already, and not that you're perfect at it, not that you're the best sober
it's
person ever to ever accomplish it, but how about the rest of our panel? How about you, Jim and Will? Have you guys had anybody that was friends of you that took a nosedive and it was hard for you not to join them?
You
I like
go
you.
Will. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of friends that have gone back out. But you know what? Even kind of when I went and did my own thing, that was immediate separation from all my so-called friends or anybody I was around. So
Mhm.
therefore, it was never really hard because I separated myself when I decided to get my mind right and myself right, and I've kind of stayed on that path. So therefore, if you come into my life now, then yeah, it's great. But I mean, I'm never around anybody that is getting high or just getting messed up anymore. So therefore, it's
Yeah.
kind of obsolete, I guess you'd want to call it.
Yeah. Interesting. Jimmy, go ahead.
Oh, well, just like Will was saying, like breaking that cycle, right? And not hanging around with people that are still actively in their addiction. And yeah, like
Yeah.
when I came out of recovery, like I was like that leper before, and everybody I was blocked, I was unfriended, and like these were people who were like supposed friends
Yeah.
for years. But you know what? Move on. But I have no resentment. At the very beginning, I'll show those sons of bitches. But now it's
Right.
like, my hat's off to Tina. My God, like 8 years and like
No
willpower.
kidding.
Holy
No
crap.
help.
That
Virtually no help.
that is wow. That is
Well,
amazing. So hats off
what
to you. Like
for
that's
sure,
so
without a
wow.
doubt.
Well, she had a great nurse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That
you know,
helps. Well, that's part of it. You know, having a
yeah.
and
great
and
someone to
being
lead
surrounded
you,
by
set you on the path.
being
Hmm.
surrounded by addiction keeps it more solid for me.
Well,
'Cause-
I mean, that's
Keeps
what
it
I was gonna
real.
say real quick. I when I heard Jim say, "Well, I'll show them." I mean, that's not a bad thing at first. If that's your fire, if that's what fuels your fire at first, good. Show those people that you're not gonna use again. If that's
right.
your motivation, fine. But
Yeah.
what Jim's explaining is by doing the program and working the steps and doing all these things, he's in a place now where he doesn't have any resentments. And if I find out whose phone that is, I'm going to kick your. Okay, so yeah, so Jim, that really rang true for me. Tyson, what about you?
Well, yeah, a really very close friend of mine relapsed. And I really wasn't around her. She told me later that she did, but my thing was that I put her on a pedestal
Mm,
and I
Mm.
expected her to do what I did, because I followed her. I watched her. She was one who made me want this AA program thing.
right.
And I was pissed. I was
Yep.
angry.
Mm-hmm.
And all these feelings and stuff. And that's why I have a sponsor in step work. And, my sponsor and we worked through it. It took me some time, and I realized that even though she did, relapse, it wasn't for very long. She didn't go back out and go nuts.
Right.
She got back in the program and stuff and is working on her recovery again. So I mean, she doesn't lose what she had,
Right.
but she
Mm-hmm.
also and what she said, she's like, I can't do it, Kaisa, because there's no such thing as one.
Well, we all reach our point.
And
Yep.
so,
Well,
so I
hopefully.
had to realize that, I love her no matter what. I mean, I don't care, I have to not
Well, that's
have
kind of what I wanted to
expectations.
hear.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it was the reverse, if the sober people or the addicted people love the sober people as much as the sober people still love the addicted people, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Um, you always find your own kind. And that's what I was always told, and I believe it. You always find your own kind. And I had an uncle that would start a job all over the country. He was in some kind of construction, and it seemed like wherever he went on this job, he would find a couple guys that he would get high with. It's like how you're in Wyoming. How the hell did you find two guys
They're
to get high with?
everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
you always find your own
Yeah,
kind.
you have to give me a minute.
So
I'm in the middle
I
of
hope that's
a
true.
podcast.
Also, the people that you leave behind in your sobriety, I would hope that that becomes true. Also, that you always find your own kind. Well, maybe on the good side of it, you can find other sober people, and I think that camaraderie is probably the most important part of AA. The not being alone and making friendships out of it. Correct?
Yep. Hit it on the head.
Hmm.
That's really what it's about. It's about the camaraderie. It's about that feeling a part of. It takes away the levels of society and the walls people put up. That is incredible.
Like the Kiss Army.
Yeah, well, yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah, the buzzing keeps throwing me off.
Jeez.
Um,
Whose fault is
let me
that?
Who's
think. All right,
buzzing?
It's
let's
probably
let
it's probably Will's mom.
No, but it's all her
probably.
not. No,
No,
All
she would have
right.
been
no.
Well,
calling.
No, no,
Anyway,
no.
so I want to do January birthdays before January's over, so let's do that real quick. All right, everybody. It's time to recognize this month's birthdays. Birthdays are important because. Right. All right, everybody. It's time to recognize this month's birthdays. Birthdays are important because not only does it mark the day you were born, but it marks another day you're alive, clean, and sober. All right, so maybe we won't do January birthdays.
January's been so long, it feels like they should be a
Yeah, is it?
fucking year older anyway. This has
Yeah,
been the longest
language.
fucking month of my freaking month of my life. I feel like it's January.
Bing, bing,
Tomorrow
bing.
is January 67th. That's what I
Yeah.
feel like.
Mhm. Is it me
I'm not
buzzing?
alone.
Who could possibly be that
It ain't
popular?
me. Not me.
I don't care. Oh, we
Not
are
me.
streaming on Twitter. Look at that.
Ooh.
Streaming on the Twits or X or whatever it's called. Wow. Look it. Look it, guys. We're on Twitter.
Wow.
See you guys. See you
What
guys
am I
on
looking
the
at?
Look at
thing.
us. Look at
Us,
that.
us
Oh
on Twitter.
yeah,
Hey.
okay. That's
Yay.
Hi,
creepy.
me.
Anyway, yeah, the wheels are
Mm.
coming off here a little bit.
I
So,
love it.
so it's I like the 6-man scream. We've never had 6 people on talking trash. This is a very exciting venture for us. It's uncharted waters. Real quick, so I wanna share
Can I
something.
go back to Tina for 1 second?
No, why
Something,
don't we let's talk about me.
something I didn't tell anybody, and I want Tina to announce it. No, I don't know if she's been on since she had a big change in her life. She became married.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
No.
What?
Wah, wah, wah.
Go on, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm
good
just
one.
kidding. No, it's you know, it's been like 20 years or whatever. So at this point, you know, I'm not going anywhere. So I figured made it official.
Interesting.
But
I'm gonna play 5 seconds of this. Just you'll remember this. And they go in, they get an IV, and they would inject them with ketamine. So remember that episode? That
Yeah.
was a fun episode.
Yeah.
We had a good laugh. What
I
appearance
remember
number is this for you? I think it's 4. Is it 4 or 5? Do you know? You came on just once.
Back
You
when
came
Nick
on,
was here, she was on with Tommy. I know she was.
she was on with
4,
Nick.
5.
She was on with Tommy twice. We recorded back to back because I lost the
Right.
whole episode, so that counts as one. She was on for your birthday. Surprise, surprise. And this will be number 5, I think, for our friend
I think
Tina
so.
C. So that's nice.
Mm.
We
Yeah,
make
thank you.
friends. You make friends in recovery. That's how this thing works. That's what Mike was just talking about. You know, I'm not better than you, but you're not better than me either. So, like, all right,
Right.
let's just cut the shit. I don't care that you're a 70-year-old mailman who's retired. I'll bet you got some stories that I can identify with. But you only reach that point when you admit you're powerless, when you admit you have a problem, then you can reach that point of camaraderie, but not before.
Mhm.
True.
You know, we're dealing with the stressors that bring people back to
Who was
the
us?
I know.
mental part of your recovery, right? You're working on that. You're not drinking anymore. You're not finding your escape. You're not drinking. Life is different for you. You may be sick. You're going through something. You're doing the whole mental thing and finding out what started it. Why do I drink? And you start doing that and the
Yep.
steps and getting yourself together. This is all not easy. Now let's factor in on top of that. My friends don't like me no more because I don't drink. I mean, really? Throw that in the mix? My family doesn't really know how to act around me being sober. My friends look at me like I'm the leper, again, using the leper reference, because I am sober and I'm trying to maintain sobriety. Instead of admiring you, you feel chastised for it. And to me, to tell you that you'll find your own kind eventually, but that's so much to take on at once. And it really is at once. You quit drinking, you're getting the help, you're admitting your problems, you're working on the relationships, the steps as far as repairing relationships and getting to the bottom of mental awareness on why you're doing it. And by the way, nobody wants to be around me since I'm this new and improved person. I'm telling you, in time, in time, people will come to you to fill
Right.
those gaps. Just keep doing the right thing. Keep
Yeah.
blinders on. Keep doing the right thing like a horse in a horse race. Keep blinders on. Don't look to the sides. Keep focused. It's not that long where you're not going to feel everybody's in the room is on your team. It won't be
Right.
that long, so bear with it. Is
Yeah.
Right.
is is my advice from what I've heard.
It is.
Mhm.
If you want to ask questions, do what I just did. Drop it in the chat. That is an option. I don't know if we promote that enough, but if you have a question for Tina, by all means, please ask. So yeah, let's go back to the full screen. Who else has got a question for the Tina? Floor is open.
What made you
I have-
decide to get sober or get clean and sober?
I started to drive around
Mhm.
drunk again and not remembering. So a lot of close calls and kind of scared myself. And I kind of like had I'm not going to say a spiritual awakening or whatever. Something just told me like if I didn't stop, I was going to die. Like,
Yeah.
and I just felt like one day was going into the next.
Yeah.
And I was never sober. And like I said, and then when I I didn't even realize I was driving. My sister did, and I wouldn't even remember. Like.
Oh my God.
So I just
Did you
had this,
ever reach
like,
a point where you were like, you're like, you accept that you're gonna die at some point, or, I mean, I know you said that you realized that you knew you were going to die, but were in your
well,
addiction, those days running into another.
my best friend died after coming out of rehab, and I know she didn't expect it to happen. It was like, and I know we all had, you
Yeah.
expect to wake up the next day, and she didn't.
Yeah.
And that kind of haunts me to now, even thinking, kind of like I said, I'm gonna end up like that too,
Mhm.
It's
and not even know what happens.
it's funny, things like that usually can cause people to relapse, to drink. But in your
Right.
case, it scared you straight.
Yeah.
Which is it's probably not the norm. It's probably like 70% will drink and 30 will be scared straight. But
And she has
Mhm.
a 13 at the time. Her daughter was 13, and
can't.
now, and since then, when she was 19, then lost her dad too.
Oh wow.
So
Jeez.
yeah, been through
Listen,
a lot.
the point of this show is to spread a message, to both save the addict from the pain, but it's to save the family from all that trauma and
Right.
Yeah.
damage. I mean,
Mhm.
you
I
get to
wanted to
check.
talk about that. When the chips are really down, it's a cliche because it's always said. Sometimes they're cliches because they're true. When
Mhm.
the bottom's out of it, you can always count on your family, can't you? When the bottom, I know Tina's sister also, and I know she's been there for her, and vice versa in a lot of things in life. But they're very close, and they depend on each other. But when everything goes, sometimes it's all you got is your family. And I know it's a cliche, but it's a true cliche. Look around the room as you're listening and watching this show,
Do you
America.
realize
Mhm.
I'm on a fucking live?
and the and the rest
Mom,
of the world,
No,
right,
Come on.
and the
there
rest of
goes
the
Faisal.
world. So
Yep.
right.
she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. I got a question for Tina.
Yeah, please, by all means.
So, like Tina, first of all, hats off again. Like doing it on willpower. Like
Oh,
holy crap.
thanks, Jim.
But
Yeah.
you're okay. I have a little story here. When I was on the first podcast I was on, and you were doing the clean time, and Tina, you were at 8 years, and you had COVID, and I giggled, and
Yeah.
Tina sent me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, you had my respect right there. You don't put up with any shit,
No.
and and I'm just like, wow, I am not worthy. I'm not worthy. But what are your coping mechanisms? Like what gets you out of bed and what gets you through the day?
Well, I have 5 animals. I like animals a lot. I exercise a lot. Not a lot, but kind of like a routine going now. So the animals you have to get up because they depend on me. And
Yeah.
and
Music,
everybody else
music has been big for
music.
you.
Yes.
Bands
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Um,
music.
there was
really
a couple emails about you. I'm opening my mailbox right now and searching Tina.
Okay.
so
Yeah,
those are the big ones.
you've had oh, here we go. You've had an impact on people.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thanks to Mike, Tina, Tim, Kayla, not Kasha. They spell it
That
wrong.
was classic.
Elizabeth, Jim Weibel, Will, Tommy Garrett. Oh, for the record, I talked to Garrett the other day, and he's doing good. It was nice
Oh
to
well.
talk to him. You don't always see eye to eye in this world, and things are what they are.
Yeah.
Don't let things,
Whatever
eat you up
works for him, getting sober,
or
Yeah.
run you at any time. Here it is, Nikki. Tina, I identified so much with you. You are such an inspiration in my life. Tim, please have her back on regularly. Don't tell me what to do. And and thank you so much, Tina. Nikki R. Saying
Oh, it was
thank you.
nice.
That was back in, I don't know, March.
I was hoping
May.
you weren't going to say Nikki Starnes. I was going to say, oh my God.
Oh, come on, Mike. Like I would do that. It would have been made more sense if I said Nikki Six, right? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
is that a
I've done with
comment?
him now. Moved on.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if that was a thing. Just throwing one out there. Throwing a dart.
I like
Dart.
Alice Cooper. I mean, not like
I
that.
Oh,
not like that. Like
Not like
I
that.
oh,
He
she's
was.
back.
I got her.
He,
Alice Cooper. I used to deliver newspapers for the Asbury Park Press. I'm
he's
sure
such
you
a
know
cool
that.
guy. He's so
He
nice.
had remember his radio show Nights with Alice Cooper.
Yes.
I listened to him every night for years. Like he was great.
He's such a
A
nice.
great golfer, too, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
And
yeah, he's like
and
PGA almost. He's
yeah.
got like
Way.
a two handicap. He is like he golfs every day,
And
and he is
whenever he
not
Great.
goes to a
he's not in
show,
AA. He just
yeah,
doesn't drink. Like
Yeah.
he's been sober.
willpower, right?
There
And
are
we,
people out there that
yeah,
can do that. And
Yeah.
you can still
cool.
identify as an addict, like, or an alcoholic, like, but there are people that can do that. Not many of them come on a podcast and say, "Look what I did." Not many of
Hmm.
them have that that humility to say, "Yes, I got out of it, and no, I'm not better than you." Because most people in this world are like, "But I was never an addict, and I'm not your dirty addict self." You know what I mean? So it's like
Hmm.
it's that ego. We let go of the ego, and
Yeah.
look what happens. We have friends like Tina, and Tina is somewhat of an anomaly because most people need the steps, need the structure. Me, I need to be caged up in Georgia to get my head on straight. You know what I mean? So like, there are people. She's whose phone is that? Because I think it's Will.
It's
Will,
not me.
it's probably Oxley. He doesn't even know it.
It's not
So like,
me.
Me, we
And my
don't have
phone
phone
doesn't
service in
vibrate.
Canada.
I don't know.
It's a party line up here, man.
Taisha, is it your
I'm
phone?
3 long, 2 short.
I don't know. It might. I mean, people are getting
I,
text messages.
you know what? It's
Yeah.
probably Kais is the most famous person in recovery. It probably
Yeah,
is.
she
But,
is.
Mayor.
No.
so yeah, without a doubt. So like, yeah, we. Am I the only one here?
Did
No,
you
I
just
hear
hear
it.
that? Because
As long
that
as
someone
long as I'm,
sent something.
yeah, it's you. As
Yeah.
long as I'm not, I don't care if it's doing it. I just want to make sure I'm not the only one hearing things.
Okay, I got one more question for Tina.
By all
Tina,
means,
there you go. So okay, like I'm in the program, Tim's in the program, blah blah blah. Like, do you find that some people that are in AA or NA, they kind of look at you all, so you're not really sober because you're not part of the group, and
I bet.
that's what really ticks me off.
Yeah.
That there are people in the program who, well, you're not doing it right, or if you're not going to a meeting once a week and contributing, you're not really clean and sober, which I think is crap. That's
That's
just
great,
me.
Jim. Thank you, Jim. Tina.
Yeah, most people like I don't know, like the people I know, a lot have went and it wasn't for them, but I don't feel any judgment either way. I kind of think people that are going through sobriety stick together regardless of how you do it.
That's a
It's the
good
people
point.
that
Mm-hmm.
it's the other people that have the problem with it that
Tina,
don't know how to handle it.
let
And
me
that's
ask.
something we always wanted to bring to the head in the show was everybody's recovery is different. Everybody's. It's your story to tell, Sober is not using or drinking. Recovery is getting to the bottom of it. So to get to the
Hey,
bottom of it, you're in full recovery. But there's a
hey,
million ways to do it. NA, CA.
yeah, any A out there, but like also like you don't have to. AA is just a place and a thing.
Yeah.
Humans are humans. You know what I mean? So like anybody, like Jim Liable, that's how you should be. Like not that anybody should be or shouldn't be anything, but Jim,
Mhm.
he's accepting. And I know the majority of people in NA and AA are like, no, you can't. Why be in a fellowship if you're not working the steps? I'm like, well, the only requirement for membership is to stop drinking. So why don't you? So like Tyson and Jim are like that. But there are people that will turn you
There's
off.
the
But like I said,
Christian groups that promote it through church too, and a lot of feel the only way is for that spiritual part and Christ and Jesus and all that stuff. I mean, however, whatever is your higher power, whatever gets you there, and here, everybody does it different. Everybody
yeah.
does, and here's Tina, who's different, different than AA, but she just is tough. She's a tough chick. What can I tell you?
Like for for
No
uh
kidding.
for contrast, I am in between Tina and Jim or Tina and Kaisa. Like
Right.
I go to meetings 3 times a week. I've attempted the steps, whatever, but I I look at it as a very important part of my recovery. I do a lot, in the program. I've never done it before, so like I'm getting there, and I use Tyson and Jim as like watermarks for me. But like I am just going. I'm just keep coming back at this point, and I'm I'm not humble. I allow the hell word am I trying to think of? I'm open to opinions. I make suggestions. That's what I was trying to say. And I'm getting there one day at a time. And people like Jim don't turn me off. And I usually, like you said, I gravitate to people like Jim, people like Kaisa, people like Will, and people gravitate to their thing. There's cliques everywhere. So my follow-up question was this. This is why I'm rambling, because I wanted to ask this one question. Do you have many people that you are both friends with and they work in AA or NA program?
Me, no.
Okay. So
No.
that kind of clarifies your question, Jim. Like,
Mhm.
It is.
And that's awesome, because a lot of people in the program that I
Yeah.
know and that I don't even associate with, like
Mhm.
I've met them in meetings, I sponsor them, and I've fired them as sponsees because they're just too, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just assholes, right?
Oh,
Rigid.
They're
They're
I get
telling
AA
one.
snobs.
they're
I
telling
get.
AA
me,
snobs. Right.
yeah,
I
and it's
get. I
like,
get. They think I'm a snob because I don't. But I'm not doing anything.
Right.
Like, oh, you're
Right.
better than everybody. Because, but you know what I'm saying. I've had that like from
Yeah.
Oh
past.
yeah, you're better because you didn't need anything. But you know what?
mhm.
They go, yeah. Um.
Maybe you are.
It's
But
the
not.
it's
But not.
it's the hu-
And most of my friends now, it's really strange. Like we all used to drink, and now it's like, or whatever, and now it's like switching. It's like
yeah.
sober is almost like the normal now, and it's like, and smoking too. Like nobody smokes anymore.
Why would
Just
they?
about. I know, vaping.
Need a sponsor
Yeah, but it's weird. It's
for a
like
That'll
a
be
lot
fix.
of
next.
people have
Yeah.
changed, where they're not drinking anymore. So I don't know. It's like Mike told me in rehab too. You got to grow up, basically,
Yeah.
and
Time to
that
grow
stuck
up.
with me.
Yeah.
And it was
I,
true.
I always heard something interesting that if you started drinking before 18 or
Oh
using or
God,
whatever, your brain stops developing and
mine's done then.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
well, maybe not me, but like, yeah, a lot of people just recovery is a weird world to be in. It's a hard world
Yeah,
to navigate,
it is.
and
Mhm.
the point of this show and our mission statement, I think it's in our preamble too, that we accept everybody. There is no one way
Yeah.
to do it, especially not now. Like maybe in the 70s or 80s, there was only one way. There was no, Mayo Clinic, maybe whatever. But like we were reading something last night with Dr. Paul O. Tyson and Jim. Do you know this guy? He's
Sounds
he,
familiar.
what he wrote acceptance is the answer in the fourth edition of the big book. I don't know.
Yes.
So he was a doctor, right? And he started drinking, and he was studying medicine. He drank all through it, had all these accolades, honors, all this stuff, and he was an alcoholic through it. And then he he tried to stop drinking, and he ended up taking tranquilizers and Remadan, whatever it is, back in the 50s, that he was taking basically amphetamines to to function, and then he was taking like benzos or sleep medicine or barbiturates or whatever they took back then to sleep. So this guy, the original title of this chapter in the big book in the 4th edition was Doctor Alcoholic Addict. So he turned into a guy shooting morphine into his arm because his family ran a drugstore. So like this guy was he was from
probably never got to the root of the problem on why he drank. So he just went to the next addiction.
So that's the thing. So Dr. Paul didn't he wrote this. He wrote the best paragraph I've ever heard in both the Bible. Hold on, let me pull this up. It was used to be page 449. Now it's page 417. Big book. Here it is. I'll read it real quick. Acceptance is the answer to all. Nope. It's really powerful. Big book, 4th edition. Acceptance at 417. Okay, I got it. So it reads like this here. Acceptance is the answer to all my problems. All is emphasized. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me, and I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, or thing, or situation as being exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. Absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. Unless I accept life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me and my attitudes. Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage and the men are merely players. What a great paragraph that sums it up. You have to accept it. You have to accept your male, white, female, black, gay, whatever it is. If you don't accept yourself, you can't accept other people. There's projection involved. There's all that. But I'm just reading something. It rang true for me when I heard it in rehab 5 years ago. And they said in the meeting, I never heard this, but they said, in the halfway house we lived in, they would always say, if you were getting worked up, they would say 449 because that meant the page. Now it's 417. But yeah, I just found that interesting. That just if that phone rings one more time, I'm gonna lose it. So
on a side note, Tina, if you ever want to start a metal band, you can actually take a chapter or a part of the big book. It's called Dr. Bob's Nightmare. That would be a perfect name for a metal band.
Dr. Bob's Nightmare, without a doubt.
Okay.
Dr. Bob's Nightmare.
We're at like an hour and 3, and we haven't even done clean time yet.
Yeah. I know. We have a guest. It's going well. Let's do some clean time. Let's do some clean time.
Well, it's that time. It is clean time. What is clean time, you ask? Well, glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Clean time is the amount of days or years that you've been clean and sober. We're a family here on T-Dubs, so let's get into our clean time segment. Michael?
Look at me.
Mr. Clean.
Corbin Johnson, 35 days. Great job, Bort. IP Freely, which we know is an alias, we hope. 37 days. Great job.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a whiz, get it? 43 days. Misty Hayes. 52 days for Deborah H. Daisy McLean. Your sobriety shall outgrow your purpleness, I hope. 71 days. 77 days for Jeanette R. I see her glasses cropped out.
Yep.
Dustin Wells, 88 days. Great job, Dusty. Say hi to Grandma. 98 days for Tara Dixon. Look at that red tag. 98 days for Timothy F. 104 days, Jeremy Moore. That's a bad picture, dude. 119 days, Jason D. 121 for Bridget Ciotti. I don't know. I'm trying to get all the vowels in. 124 for EW. Here we 127 for Alan Batherson, my man. And we know Haley McDermott, 134 days.
Good job.
Mickey D.
Skylar, best teeth in the business, 134 days. 154 for David McDowell. And John Brown, I hope you're all settled in your new place. 165 days, my man. Valencia, 167 days. Look at that beautiful necklace, yes. 170 days for Catalina D.
Holy.
176 days of Vanessa M. In April, 176 days. That's a lot of time, April. 182 days for Monica Fontanello. 188 for Alex Katrine. And our friend Samantha has 190. That's a lot of time, Samantha. 190 days for Anthony Seals.
Get a haircut.
195 days for Destiny J. Everybody knows Daniel G, good friend of the show, 197 days.
Sure do.
And there's our buddy Michaela Booker, 223 days. 225 days for Frank Kenny. 220 days for Andreas Estrada. 229 days for Rico. He's wearing a white beater. He's not washed Think Commanders. 230 days, David D. 225 days, A.J. Hamilton.
Good job.
232 for Christian A. I don't even know if it's Christian. 235 days, Alex M.
Whoop, whoop.
Steve W.
Crikey.
242 days.
Crikey.
258 for our beloved Tony J.
It's getting hot in here? It's just you.
264.
Maria Gladden.
She's so glad.
Yeah, sorry.
271 for Jen Magna. 275 for Jared Black. Another great friend of the show. 317 days for me.
Good job.
Look at that kissing picture. 323 days, Jamie Michelle.
Cassie's coming up.
340 for Deshaun Booker.
Don't shut
You
up.
got this. You got it. 347 for Desiree Murphy.
This is what it's all about right here.
354 for a race car classification Nick Sticker. Two more, and he's not drinking his driving. Oh, that's a year.
Cassie.
Cassie
Good job, Cassie.
Welcome to the miracle.
405 days. Shannon Posse,
Good
Juan,
job.
Beck Juan.
Oh, here last night.
411,
Hey, what?
Patricia G.
Good job, Patricia.
417 for Craig.
Look at you, Craig.
Yep.
There's 444 for Kobe J. Congratulations, my man.
I didn't update him or Ronnie.
Ronnie J.
407, Ronnie J. 164 for Tommy W. 472 for the guy behind me, Phil Douglas.
Chili Willy.
545 for our beloved host, and Jimmy. 3 years, our
With red hair.
the Canadian Confucius. 3 years, Amelia Quattro. 3 years. April Pritchard. 3 years. Also, Jeffrey S. Great guy. Good sport.
Good job, Jeffrey.
3 years. 3 years also for Tyler Brandon. Good friend of the show.
Tyler.
He's a big deal.
Yep.
4 years for Stella Montez. So proud of you, Stella. 5 years for our Kaiser.
Evil Kaiser. Yeah.
6 years, the wealthy.
Good
Oh,
job.
like that.
6 years for Simon Falls. Way to go, buddy. And sitting right next to me at 8 years.
Yeah.
Earn a treasure.
In the house.
13 years, Neil K. Just do what he does.
Yeah.
Ryan, 26 years. Is he Canadian or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Hey, what's the
right
most
now.
important part of the room?
The newcomer.
Yeah.
Ella
Good
Schaefer,
job,
10 days.
Ella.
16 days for Matt D.
Good job,
Boy,
Matthew.
Matt.
23 for Randall F. I know it's
Go
tough
back,
right now, but
Randall.
you got it.
Almost
Got
there.
this.
26, love Rhonda Shirley. I see you getting a 30, baby.
Way to go, everybody. Awesome. I love it. Corbin hit 30. IP Cooley hit 30. Alex Green hit 6 months. Bonnie 6 months. Samantha F 6 months. Ashley Spencer 1 year. Ella Montez 4 years. Ryan K 26 years. Way to go, everybody. Want to be on Clean Time? Email Mike at trash-podcast.com. What else? Hit us up on our social medias or trash-podcast.com. That ties it all together nicely. Find yourself in a crisis situation, please dial 988. And for the love
Don't
of
kill
God,
yourself,
get
man.
yourself fucking Narcan. Shit. Car wash, yeah. So that's it. So there you have it. We have a nice, we got a good amount of people watching. I won't announce it, but we got a lot going on here. So I'm proud of everybody.
Especially our clean timers.
Without a doubt. I don't. There's a couple I think I messed up, but I'll fix it for the next show.
It's hard to keep accurate. It's grown to nobody
it's
expects
accurate.
it to be perfect to the day.
It's pretty accurate though. What
I'm
else?
proud of you, all of you.
Sorry.
Nice.
I'm proud of every one of you.
Well,
Every one of you.
I'm proud of our staff, our people. We're doing something great here, and I'm grateful to everybody donating their time and their experiences. A lot of people won't donate their experiences; they hide them away, like Tina could have done, like a lot of Tinas do out there. So we're grateful for that. Chuck Nip said, "Y'all have a fun production values on your broadcast."
Chucky.
You're damn right, Chuck.
He's from Texas.
I'm gonna play this one more. This is my favorite. This.
The city that rhymes with fun. There you go.
You know they instead of all thy sons command, they changed it to.
I know. Well, I had to learn it in French and English.
Oh,
and then they changed the words.
That's crazy. They changed it from it used to say with all our sons command, or whatever.
Yeah.
And now they changed it to everyone's command or something. I don't remember what.
Well,
everybody's
commanders. Who knows?
Commanders. Yeah. Anywho, Tina, I really appreciate you coming on. Our guests like you a lot. A lot of people identify with you. We have a lot of people that watch the show anonymously, and that's kind of a problem for but we're getting there because we don't talk politics or something that people just like and watch and comment. People watch at arm's length. A lot of people do. And it's great to have somebody like you to bridge that gap. You speak to the mother who has an addict son.
Mm-hmm.
You speak to let me read an email before we get out of here real quick. He gave his permission, so let me just read it.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to send a message. I always say I'm going to tell you guys how much I love you guys. You're a staple in our household. I always hear the theme song coming from one of my kids' rooms. We're a family of addicts. I'm sober 16 years. My wife the same, but both their boys have gone to rehab. What the hell is that? Mike left.
Mike left.
So we show your show and told them they had to watch it along with other rules and boundaries we set out if they wanted to live at home. My boys are 17 and 18, both clean from opioids, 8 months, went to treatment together. I just want to say thanks to Mike, Tina, Tim, Kayla, sorry, Kaisa, Elizabeth, Jim Leibel, Will, Tommy, Garrett, and all your guests. Feel free to share this message. You have my full permission. There's somebody who's 16 years sober from drinking. There's a lot of parents that are like that. A few of my friends are like that from high school, but they have kids, and their kids are in today's world, and there's fentanyl everywhere, and people are overdosing and dying. And it's that's our mission statement, is to bridge that gap, to keep people from overdosing and dying. So Will's still here. That's good.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on,
Thank
Kaisa.
you.
Thank you for being a trooper like you always are. We appreciate everybody. Let's read some just for today and get out of here so we can watch Netflix. Oh, Mike's in the background yelling to come on. He's silent. All right, Mike.
Better,
You're
Let
on
him in. There he is.
Ah!
Jesus.
You're the one buzzing, I bet.
Clean up on aisle 2.
No, it
Thank
wasn't me
you.
buzzing.
Right?
But
Tell me
that
about
was
it.
my kid calling me, and when I get a phone call, it just knocks everything for a loop.
That's all right. That's all right. All right, so let's do some just for to dizzle my nizzle. Will, please go.
Well, you're up.
All right, just for today, the first step and action step. Do we understand that we have no real control over drugs? At first, many of us may have thought the first step required no action. We just surrender and go on to the next step too. But step 1 does require action. The action we take in the first step will be evident in the way we live. Even from our first day clean, if we truly believe that we are powerless over our addiction, we will not choose to be around drugs. To continue to live with or associate with practicing addicts may indicate a reservation in our program. An absolute belief that the first step applies to us will ensure that we clear our homes of all drugs and paraphernalia. As this time goes on, we'll not only continue with the basics, but add new actions to our first step repertoire. We'll learn to feel our feelings rather than trying to control them. We'll stop trying to be our own and only guide on our recovery journey. Self-sponsorship will cease. We'll begin looking to a power greater than ourselves more and more for spiritual satisfaction, rather than trying to fill the void with something else. Surrender is only the beginning. Once we surrender, we need to learn how to live in the peace we have found. Just for today, I will take all the action necessary to practice the first step. I truly believe it applies to me.
Thank you, Will. Will made
Very
a
good,
new
William.
word. Will's
Very
new
good
word
pun.
is Will made up statification. Mike made up
Pontification.
Pontificate.
Pontification.
he didn't make
I didn't
that
make it up. It's a real word, for Christ's sake.
It is. I made up dichotomy. No, dichotomy is actually a word.
No, it's a word. No, Mike
It's a
came
word.
up with
Pontificate.
I can't find it.
It was-
Whatever. I blew it. Oh, here it is. Ultimatic.
Ultimatic.
What a great
That's-
time.
That was a 1942 Ultimatic. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Well, let's
Three in the
let's say,
tree.
yeah, let's say goodbye to Tina.
Aw.
Bye, Tina.
Thank
Take
you
care,
for coming
Tina.
on.
Hey, if I can say one more thing,
No. Yeah, go ahead.
No.
we're
Go ahead.
dead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I thought you said we're dead.
No,
Listen,
that doesn't even mean anything.
If people are watching us right now and struggling with addiction and even in sobriety, and if you guys really think you don't have anybody, there's nobody, there's us. That's no great shakes and it's no great prize, but we are here.
Well, that's a
care.
good point. I mean, we do
We
care.
care.
We
You
are
do
here.
have somebody. So don't use that as an excuse. You got me. Okay?
Got Mike. And most, I mean, honestly, I don't have all the answers. So I have put people on the screen here who have a lot of the answers now. So I can be me, Mike can be him, Jim and Kicey can do their thing, and Will can hang out with me on the sidelines watching. I won't answer your questions. I won't give you medical advice. I'll tell you what I've done.
I
I'll
will.
tell you what works for me. Mike may. I would watch doing that. But I just, we're here for you. If I can't answer the question, somebody else can on our team. Because this is a team all of a sudden. So this was the vision I had at the beginning, just a community of people saving people from doing the shit that I did to myself, that I did to my parents and the rest of my family and my kids. You know, I went through something so dramatic that I had to do something dramatic. And this is a podcast. It started off called Timmy Time, and now it's Talk of Trash. So yeah. So we're grateful. Thank you, Tina. It really was a blessing to have you on.
Thanks, Tina.
And we'll see you.
Amazing. Thanks, Tina.
Real quick, Sunday, we have, again, Nikki D on February 2nd, episode 80. It's also Groundhog Day. I'm going to figure something out fun for that. But thank you, everybody, for listening. Nice volume watching the pod tonight. And we'll see you Sunday.
I get